Alright.
Hello, my name's Ben. I'm a workshop leader for the Hertfordshire County Music Service, and I will show you some guitar things to, that might help if you want to write songs using the guitar. First of all, let me tell you what the different parts of the guitar are called. This is the guitar body, it's the big part, with the sound hole in. This is the bridge, where the strings are attached to the guitar. This is the headstock, which has got these tuning pegs on. That's what you use to tune the strings, obviously. This is the neck of the guitar, and on the top here is the fretboard. These are the frets, these metal bars that run across. And when you push the strings down behind the frets, you get the different notes on the guitar. The strings we're going to call 1 to 6. The thinnest string is the first string, and then the second, third, fourth, fifth, up to the thickest string, which is the 6th. The first string is tuned to E, the second string is tuned to a B, the third string is tuned to a G, the fourth string to a D, the fifth string to A, and the 6th string is another E. When I talk about going up the neck of the guitar, I mean this way, so that the pitch of the note that you're pressing down goes up as well, like this. So, let's start with a chord. The first chord we're going to do is the E major chord. Now, when I'm talking about fingering on the left hand, the index finger is the first finger, and your little finger is the fourth finger. So when you come to hold the guitar, to play the chords, imagine that your hand is in a sock puppet, and you bring that round, like that. Now your first finger goes on the first fret of the third string, like that. Then your third finger goes on the second fret of the fourth string, like that. And then your second finger goes on the second fret of the fifth string, there. And what you have now, if you hit all of the strings, is an E major chord. Now with that shape, what you can do is move that whole shape around the neck of the guitar. Some places it'll sound good, in some places it will sound less than good, but you can make that judgment for yourself. But if I just play a little bit, with just this one shape, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So. All I was doing there was moving this E major shape up and down the neck to different positions. And you can do that with any chord shapes. Quite a common thing that happens when people write songs is you'll have one main kind of rhythmic or melodic idea that becomes what's called a riff, or the main theme of the song. And quite often that's used in the chorus. So if we had let's say this is our riff. So once you've got an idea that you're happy with, that you want to use as your kind of main riff or hook to the song, you can repeat it, and you can repeat it a lot. A lot of songs use one idea, one riff as an introduction, as the basis for the chorus, as a bed for any kind of instrumental solo that might happen, and as well they use them for the outro. So don't be afraid, if it's something that you like and you're happy with it, to use it a lot, because that's the way that that's what catchy songs have got generally. So I'm going to play the riff again, and then I'm going to try and think of some kind of melodic idea that could eventually turn into the main tune of the song for vocal things. So I'll just I'll give it a go, see see what comes out. So I'll start off playing the riff a few times, and then try to come up with some kind of tune. See if it actually happens. So you could use a tune that was something like that, or you could come up with something that was better than that, which probably wouldn't be too hard. But then after that, you want to start thinking about how you're going to construct the rest of the song, the verses, any kind of bridge sections that you have. And a common way to do it is you take the same chords, but you make them last longer. So rather than bashing through them like you do in the riff, you can take the same idea, even the same order of chords, but just make them last longer. So something like this, perhaps. And you can use ideas like that to build the song, and you can also use the same chords again for a third section that you might want to use as a bridge, or what's called a middle eight, which is basically it's another section to the song that might come in once. You might want to bring it in twice, but something just to break up the break it up so it doesn't just go verse chorus verse chorus verse chorus. Just to keep the listener's attention. So if I was going to think of a middle eight using those same chords, I'd probably try starting on a different chord to the one that I used to start the verse and the chorus. So maybe something like this. Chorus riff. And if you use ideas like that, then there we had 4 chords. You can use use fewer chords if you like. There are some great songs that only have 2 chords. There's even some great songs that just have 1 chord. But the key is to try and make it rhythmically interesting as well as harmonically interesting. And also, a thing that quite a lot of people tend to forget is you can really build tension and excitement in a song by using dynamics, which basically is different volumes. So if you start off with a nice quiet introduction that bursts into a loud chorus, or you have a quiet subdued middle eight that comes back into the verse, it can work either way, but it's worth remembering. And on the guitar as well, remember that you don't always have to strum all the strings. So if you want to use the same chords but give one verse a quiet feel and a different kind of texture, you can pick things. So rather than just bashing, you can do picking. So I'll play the chorus riff a couple of times, I'll go into the verse, and I'll try and play the, the verse chords a couple of different ways. I'll start off strumming them, and then I'll do a bit of picking and see, so just so you can get an idea of what I'm banging on about, basically. So I'll start with the chorus, then go into the verse. There's a couple of different different ways that I was using the same chords, but trying to break them up a bit so that it didn't sound like the song was always at one level. Because quite often it's nice to start a song in a fairly quiet way, or start it loud and then bring it down to the quiet to a quiet section, and then build it right up for the end, so you've got a big finish. And yeah, you can use all those kind of ideas to construct different songs. So once you've got your riff idea and ideas for your verse, it's time to start adding bits of tune and melody. And different people have different ways of doing this. Quite often, if you've got a riff but no idea for lyrics or anything, you can start just humming or whistling or singing la's or do's to get a tune that you like, and then try and think of some words that will fit with that. And they don't have to be. You've got to remember that when you're writing a song, nothing is set in stone. Just because you have one idea that's your first idea, it doesn't mean that you have to keep it. For example, when Paul McCartney was writing the song Yesterday, which everyone knows, the original lyrics were scrambled eggs, because he couldn't think of any lyrics. So it's scrambled eggs, oh my darling, how I love your legs, and that became Yesterday. So it's it's worth, if it's good enough for Paul McCartney, it's good enough for anyone else. So I'll try singing some ideas and see if I can come up with any words. Well, yeah, let's see what happens. there's some melodic ideas, and then once you've got a tune that you're happy with, or even just a snippet of a tune that you're happy with, you can start to think of lyrics. And some people like to write very personal lyrics about things that have happened to them, and you know, them or their friends, you know, the way they feel about various things. Other people like to write songs that have absolutely nothing to do with their personal lives. And you know, there's the story song, which is generally about someone else. Love songs are always a classic theme. Being in love or being out of love, wanting to be in love. Those are all things that crop up a lot when you're listening to various songs. So just try and think of something that fits with the tune you like. And enjoy. So talking about writing lyrics, you know, quite often if you've got an idea, it's a good idea to hang some kind of lyric on it, just so you don't forget it. So in the beautiful surroundings that we're in at the Stevenage Music Centre, I can see that, I don't know if this is on the camera, we're in a room when quite a lot of the ceiling tiles have fallen down. So if I was going to use that idea, I could come up with something like this for the chorus. So, for instance. Ceiling tile falling down on me. Ceiling tile falling down on me. Obviously, that's probably not a keeper in terms of a chorus, but it's something. And the unfortunate thing is it'll probably be stuck in my head for the rest of the day. But it's there, and it means that you can go away and you can mull it over when you're at school or at work, or you know, walking down the shops or whatever. And yeah, getting something in there just so you don't forget the song is always good. And also, you know, if I have an idea for a song and I'm out somewhere, quite often I'll just, you know, on my very cheap, very basic mobile phone, I've got a little voice recorder, so I just, you know, use it as a dictaphone. Just record the idea of a tune or a lyric, and that means you can come back to it later and you don't forget it, because often it's easy to forget an idea if it's come to you very quickly, you haven't had a chance to write it down or record it in any way.